Hello and welcome to our viewers of Good Morning DRC TV. I hope you are doing very well wherever it is you are watching this. Today is Thursday, the 8th of May. If you can believe it, it's going really fast. Thursday, the 8th of May. And today I thought before I begin to talk to you about what I have in mind to update you on what is going on in the DRC, just want to share a couple of thoughts with you today. And that's the reason why you have in front of you there to encapsulate, for you to understand why I do what I do. In terms of talking about what's going on in the Democratic Republic of Congo, in the DRC, I want you to understand why I do it. It's because I love my country and because I don't sleep without thinking about all that has happened, all that has befallen on our nation, on our country up until this very day. And I reach out to all the Congolese around the world. Wherever you are, I'm reaching out to you. And those who love the Congo, even if you're not Congolese, those who love the Congo, I'm reaching out to you. And I'm asking you to subscribe and to comment and to give me thumbs up. I'll tell you why. Because right here on this channel, I have some people who only come here to defend what is going on in the DRC, to defend our enemies, to defend those who are killing, to defend those who are committing the horrible crimes in the DRC. They are coming here to defend them. And for these voices to be, or my voice to be carried out to the world out there, I need you to give me thumbs up. I need you to comment so the algorithm will pick this up and basically send it around the world. That's the reason why I ask you to do that. So let me again ask you, if you have not subscribed, please do subscribe. Give me thumbs up. Let me know your views and thoughts on the topic, on the different things I talk about here. Like I said, I'm well aware that there are those who are here just basically to defend Paul Kagame. Just to defend. If you mention anything about Rwanda, if you mention anything about those who are aggressing the Congo, then they show up and then they start putting their comments down. So why don't those of you who like what I'm doing do a little bit more than that? Tell me, encourage, and give me your thumbs up and let the world know that you like the content here. Okay, so I want to read to you something. I get inspired when I read this. This is found in the book of Nehemiah, for those of you who read the Bible. Nehemiah had a burden for Israel. Nehemiah had a burden for Jerusalem. Like Nehemiah had a burden for Israel, like he had a burden for Jerusalem, I do have the burden for my country, for the DRC. I do have the burden for what is going on in the eastern part of the Congo. I have that burden. He says this, in the month of Kislev, in the 20th year, while I was in the citadel of Susa, Anani, one of my brothers, came from Judea with some other men, and I questioned them about the Jewish remnant that had survived the exile, and also about Jerusalem. They said to me, those who survived the exile are back in the province and are in great trouble and distress. The wall of Jerusalem is broken and its gates have been burned. What was the man's reaction? This is Nehemiah. Nehemiah said this, When I heard these things, I sat down and wept. For many days I mourned and fasted and prayed before the God of heavens. You can understand these words, particular words. I said, when I questioned them, they said to me, those who survived the exile are back in the province and are in great trouble and distress. My brothers in Goma, in Bukavu, in Butembo, in Ituri, in Kisangani, all these provinces, they are in trouble and in distress. You can hear the sound of those brothers and sisters where they are right now. They are in distress. They are in trouble. They have no access to the real economy. They have no access to food. They have no access to their activities. They have no access to their land. They have no access to their property. They have no access to all that belong to them. Why? Because they have been invaded by Rwanda's troops who are still there today. The M23 and what they are doing, and the AFC, they are looting and they are committing horrible crimes against my brothers and sisters in that part of our country. As much as I'm here in Kinshasa, my ears are there, my eyes are there, I can see, I can hear what is going on there. My brothers and sisters are in trouble and disgrace. The walls of Jerusalem are down. The walls of Kivu, the wall of Goma is down right now as we speak. Let me carry on. In chapter 2, it says this: in the month of Nisan, in the 20th year of the king Artaxerxes, when wine was brought before him, I, Nehemiah, that is, took the wine and gave it to the king. I had not been sad in his presence before, so the king asked me, why does your face look so sad when you are not ill? This can be nothing but the sadness of heart. A lot of people wonder, and they see me talk the way I do, and say the things that I say. They say, what is it with this man? Why is he talking? A lot of people, sometimes you cannot help but the cries of my brothers and sisters right here in the East. When I watch the images, when I see what is going on there, when I see the looting, the starvation, the lack, the cries, all that is going on there, it affects me. It does affect me. Because here, you are not coming in front of a journalist who is reporting to make his living. No, you are coming before a patriarch who cares about his country and who loves his people and who wants to do something for his people. And this is what I am doing, to raise my voice, to blow the trumpet, to let my brothers and sisters around the world to know what is going on in their country so they can wake up and do something. I was very much afraid. Verse 3. But I said to the king, may the king live forever. Why should my face not look sad when the city where my ancestors are buried lies in ruins, and its gates have been destroyed by fire? Then the king said to me, what is it you want? Then I prayed to the God of heaven, and I answered the king, if it pleases the king, and if your servant has found favor in your sight, Let him send me to the city in Judea where my ancestors are buried so that I can rebuild it. And right here, what I am doing is I'm calling out to my brothers and sisters, wherever you are. We need to rebuild our country. We need to rebuild our nation. It is so vital, so important that we understand this. We have the responsibility to do it. If we don't, America is not going to do it for us. Canada is not going to do it for us. Definitely not France. It's not going to do it for us. You'll understand why in a few seconds. And you cannot rely on any other nation or any other country, because we have seen, they have shown it to us in no uncertain terms. They don't give a monkey what happens to the DRC. They don't care. We have to stand up and we have to do something. Let's get that one right. He says, I need to go back to rebuild it. We must rebuild our country as a whole. We must rebuild Goma, Bukavu. We must rebuild Kisangani. We must Ituri, Butembo, and all these villages that have been taken where they've been savage and people have been destroyed and all that have happened. We have to rebuild it. Then the king said to me, what is it you want? The king, of course, gave him permission to go and all the things that he needed to go and rebuild the city, to rebuild Jerusalem. But in the process of going to rebuild Jerusalem, something else happened. There were those who were against Nehemiah as he was planning to go to rebuild Jerusalem. And this is pretty much what happens here. As Congolese everywhere, wherever you are, as soon as we decide to start rebuilding our nation, there are people who don't want us to rebuild our nation. They are against us because their interest in the country is threatened. And amongst these people we must count Uganda, we must count Rwanda, we must count Museveni, we must count Paul Kagame. They do not want to see the DRC rise again. Amongst them, we throw in the mix Joseph Kabila. They don't want these things to happen because they have an agenda of their own. Verse 19 of chapter 2. Then, but when Sambala, the Horonite, Tobiah, the Ammonite official, and Geshem, the Arab, heard about this, they mocked and ridiculed us. Isn't this what is happening? When we're saying we want to rebuild our nation, we want to rebuild our country, there are people who are coming to this channel and many other channels like me to say, you won't be able to do it. M23 is going to be there forever. And this country belongs to the M23 and also to some, they say all kind of things to say that in order to tell us we will fail in our mission, that the Congo will be partitioned and these people they say all kinds of things really against us just to destroy and to discourage us in what we are doing. But listen to what Nehemiah said. I answer them. He answered the Sambala, Tobiah, and Geshem. He said this to them. I answered them by saying, the God of heaven will give us success. The God of heaven will give us success. We, his servant, will start rebuilding. But as for you, you will have no share in Jerusalem or claim or historic right to it. The God of heaven will give us success. I'm telling my brothers and sisters, wherever you are, and those who love the Congo, we will rebuild our country. And God of heaven will give us success. That is a true saying. No matter what Sambala is thinking, no matter what Kagame is thinking, no matter what Museveni is thinking, no matter what Joseph Kabila is thinking, no matter whoever you name them, or what Macron is thinking, you name them, no matter what they think, we will rebuild our nation. I guess I'll basically move on from there. Just 5 minutes and I am done. I want to talk to you now about what is going on. Right. So here we have the visits of Paul Kagame in France, Thursday. So here it says Kagame in Paris, why Rwanda wants France in its corner. Why Rwanda wants France in its corner. I've been saying here, there is something evil that Macron is doing. Let me read to you. It says this: President Paul Kagame visited Paris on Wednesday and held talks with French President Emmanuel Macron at a time when Rwanda is fighting pressure from the European Union and some of its members to tighten sanctions over its alleged role in the conflict in the eastern Congo. What we have here, and I've been saying this, that Emmanuel Macron is playing a deadly role against the DRC because of his own interests, because of the interests of Total, because they want petrol in Lake Albert, all this gas and everything else. They are seeing their own interests first. And Paul Kagame goes and they have been dealing with Macron and they are wanting France to support them in their endeavors, in their pursuits, and in their plan in order to stay and occupy the eastern part of Congo. This is what Emmanuel Macron is fighting for, so that Rwandan troops will stay in the DRC throughout this process until they neutralize the so-called FDLR. So they're asking France to voice for them in the White House so that the Rwandan troops will stay in the eastern part of Congo in order to neutralize the FDLR, and this will be an answer to their security question that they have. But why is France doing all of this? Of course, because of its own interests. France wants to have access to the petrol in the Lake Albert, and it's fighting for the rights of Total, the deals that are going under the table that is going on at the moment. I'm telling my brothers and sisters, wherever, look, don't sit down and we think like, look, okay, because Trump, we're doing this deal with Trump, everything is going to be all right. No, it's not all right. And let's not sleep on this, because the US is now in talks with Kagame to provide the safe haven for migrants that will be deported from the US to go to Rwanda. The deal that was on the table with the UK, the UK have said no to that deal. They have scrapped the whole scheme, and now that scheme, they are dangling this before the US that, okay, we can have your refugees in our country. We've got the place already. Everything is already set up, and we can start doing this. And the US has, according to what I know, has either accepted it or in the process of studying this, but it's more likely that they have already accepted this deal. And they also have other deals that they are doing with Rwanda. It seems that the speed at which they are dealing with Rwanda now supersedes what is happening in Kinshasa, in the DRC. And this is something that I've been talking about here, that you can't bank on the fact that, okay, the deal with the US is already like we have already gotten this deal, it's already a done deal. It's not a done deal as yet, because you don't know what is included in this deal as far as the DRC is concerned. All this can be done, and then the DRC finds itself at the mercy of these people because they're capitalists. They don't care at all about the people there. I know we're talking about peace. Trump wants peace and peace. Yes, I hear that a lot. But we need to understand what is going on at the moment right now. What is happening? So, like I said, France is now advocating for Rwanda and putting diplomatic pressure on this deal so that Rwanda will come out strong, so that Rwanda will maintain its troop in eastern part of Congo to neutralize the FDLR. And also France wants to play a role in disarming the militia groups that are there. France is doing everything, and this is why you see the support that Emmanuel Macron gives to France, gives to Rwanda, to Paul Kagame. People, we need to wake up. And when I talk about what is going on in Kinshasa, as far as all this corruption and all these things that are going on, you don't know who's fighting against us at the White House. You don't know who is there, who's lobbying against us there. We need to wake up. We need to understand and smell the rats and understand that there's something cooking there that may not be good for us. The opposition party in the Democratic Republic of Congo does not fall asleep. They are working day and night. Senko and plus the opposition leaders there, they are working in order to hamper, to stop, and to basically sabotage all this deal that we're talking about here. I pray, and I'm speaking, and I'm talking, and I'm asking you, wherever you are, do not fall asleep on this. Let's work, let's raise our voice, let's be aware. And I'm praying that our leaders right here across from where I am in this Parliament House, where they are right now, they need to understand that if they continue with their stupidity in what is going on there, we will only have our eyes to cry. Put aside your little differences you have. This is a nation, this is a country we're supposed to fight for. Why do you sit there and then trying to fight against each other because of your position? Or what is it? What is bigger than a country? If you don't have a country, you don't have any position to fight for. If you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, share this, give me a thumbs up. Let me hear your comments. Let's work on this. Let's work on this. And I know, like I said, like Nehemiah said, we will succeed because our God is on our side. Raise your voices. Speak. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.